Can we talk a little bit about the big, scary monster in this community that no one is addressing? Nobody is talking about. Can you guess what it is? It's grief. Grief. Why is no one talking about grief in this community or addressing it? Maybe a few of us. I am so surprised and dumbfounded as to why it's something that's so avoided. Nobody wants to touch it. Nobody wants to go there. You're probably watching this right now thinking, I'm gonna go into the next video. I'm gonna jump over this. This is not for me. I don't have grief. What does grief have to do with chronic illness? I'm not grieving. I haven't lost anyone, or maybe I have lost someone and I've processed it. And I don't have grief. Grief is done. It's over. It's gone. I hear it all the time. And I need you to listen and hear this. Grieving is a part of healing. If you are bypassing your grief, you are bypassing healing in many ways. And you might be wondering, how's that possible? What does that mean? Let's understand grief for a second. Grief is loss. It's all loss. And if you think about the chronic illness journey, think about all the losses that you have experienced. The loss of safety, the loss of capacity, the loss of ability, the loss of career, the loss of relationships, friendships, marriages, the loss of your home in many instances, the loss of finances, the loss of safety. That one's a big one, especially if you've experienced trauma. You have the loss of hopes, dreams. There's so much loss wrapped up into this experience of chronic illness. And that means there's grief there. I absolutely love how David Kessler, grief expert, defines loss. He talks about grief as the change you didn't want, didn't deserve, that happened anyway. I'm going to ask you this. Did you want this illness? Did you ask for it? Did you deserve it? If you answered no to any of those questions, which I'm assuming you did, then you have grief. There is grief there, whether you're acknowledging it or not, whether you're paying attention to it or not. It lives in your body, in your cells, in your system, in your mind, in your heart. And yet, most of us aren't making the effort to allow it, to meet it. We are not giving grief the attention it so desperately desires and deserves. We are not realizing that grieving is a vital step to this process, a vital part of healing. Why? Why? Well, probably because grief has been given a bad rap. There are so many limiting beliefs around grief. These stories that say, I don't have the capacity for this, or I'm too dysregulated to go there, or grief is only going to bring me down. It's going to make me worse. It's going to set me back. I hear it all the time. And you know what? I held a lot of those same beliefs, but I'm here to tell you that the grief is already there and it's already being expressed, just not in the way that it wants to or needs to be expressed. It is showing up as symptoms, as sensations. Why? Because it's been repressed. It's been shut down and pushed down so that nobody sees it, nobody touches it. And we put it aside and put it off. We're waiting to heal in order to go there. And yet we're missing the point that grieving is healing. Grieving is healing. Grieving is what helps us get to this acceptance stage. We're all trying to get to this place of acceptance. We hear it all the time. Just accept, radical acceptance. But grieving helps us get there. Because when we can grieve what was, what could have been, what should have been, what we expected, what we hoped for, when we grieve, we can accept what is here now. Then we don't have to fight our reality anymore. How much of our energy is wasted on fighting our reality, on rejecting it? How many of us are trying to escape the reality, escape the symptoms, escape the loss? escape what's right here in front of us. So grieving helps us get to the acceptance, not the acceptance of this is the way it's going to be forever and this is my life and this is my identity. No, 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 no. That is defeatism. We're talking about acceptance of here and now and what's here now. The symptoms, the emotions, the sensations, the experience. When we grieve, we can accept our reality. And when we can accept the here and now, we make room for something new to grow. We make space with grief. And when you make space for grief, the sadness, the despair, the hopelessness, the anger, the rage, the guilt, the unforgiveness, grief is filled with emotion. But when we make room for grief and all of these emotions, we actually make more room for joy, for gratitude, for appreciation, for laughter, even for happiness, for peace, for expansion, for capacity. If you're cutting out grief, you're actually limiting yourself from the experience of the fullness of this abundant life and the goodness that comes with it. The truth about grief is it doesn't dysregulate you. Grief actually regulates you. Emotions ground you. It's in the feeling that you find yourself and your healing. So why are we running? What if we can allow grief to be here and hold on to hope and possibility? What if we can allow the emotions to be here, experience a grief, but also hold? So many of you have heard me talk about that experience of grief and joy. It comes from the Greek word charmolipi, which means literally joyful sorrow. Grief and joy are meant to coexist. So if you're here on this journey and you are so focused on healing that you are bypassing the grief, the emotion, the loss that is here, I need you to stop for a minute. I need you to pause. I need you to be open to a new way of approaching your healing. One that includes grieving. I've created a class that I'm holding on Tuesday, April 28th. All the details are in the description. I hold this grief class, a grief somatic class. Each month is a different theme as part of my membership haven. Why? Because grief has been paramount to my healing journey, and it has helped countless people that I've worked with. And I've worked one-on-one with over 1,000 people, and grieving has been a commonality in their recovery. Half of my membership is literally dedicated to grief and emotions. That is how strongly I believe in this. And as someone who lived a decade of her life with debilitating chronic illness, 50 different diagnoses, close to 100 symptoms, traumatic loss, grief upon grief, I know grief well. I'm also a bereavement educator. I studied grief in trauma. I know it. I've experienced it. I know how to teach it. And I know how to move grief and emotions through the body in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming to the system. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I do every month. And this particular month, on Tuesday, April 28th, we're going to be grieving chronic illness together. Because I feel like this is a part that is missing, a key that is so crucial in this process. We're going to see how grief is a catalyst for change, for growth. We're going to acknowledge the grief that is there. It doesn't have to stay hidden anymore. It's desiring to be witnessed, and that's where the healing happens in grief. It's in witnessing. I'm going to guide you on this journey of emotion, one that is really designed with a sensitive nervous system in mind. We're going to meet emotion, we're going to allow it to move through the body, and we're going to connect to the sense of hope and healing. This class will include a variety of different resources, including somatic, breath work, meditation, and even music. As we weave together movement, breath, and sound, you're going to be taken on a journey of grieving. We're going to start by connecting to a sense of safety, cultivating space, capacity for what's to come. We're going to move into grief expression, connecting to sadness, despair, hopelessness, noticing where in the body it lives, connecting somatically. We're going to move into anger, frustration, and rage and notice how that too feels in the body. We're going to work on this story that the body is the enemy. We've been blaming the body all this time. And through this process, we're going to build compassion, understanding, and acceptance. And finally, I'm going to guide you through a unique, one-of-a-kind guided meditation that is focused on connecting to this part, meeting that part of you, that chronic illness identity, understanding them, building trust, building safety, and changing your experience internally and with the world around you. This is going to be a journey, one that I believe is going to be a pivotal key to your recovery. It's going to help you see things differently. Specifically, it's going to help you experience grief differently and see that grieving is healing, that grief regulates you, emotions ground you, that it's in the feeling that you find your true self, that you find healing. So if you haven't been able to tell already, I am extremely passionate about this because I know the power that lies in grieving. Join me. If you're curious, if this resonated at all, sign up at the link in the description and join us on this journey. Let's grieve chronic illness together and see the healing that lives in grieving.